All right, and we're back. And I'm not sure if the same link is actually correct, so let me just check that. So what YouTube does is it creates different links, I think, for different videos because they're obviously slightly different. So I'm just gonna copy it on my phone and share the same thing here. Yep. So I think you'll need to hit subscribe to get the latest video it creates. So it creates a new video every time um, I stop and resume. So that's just the functionality, which I guess makes sense. You want to have a different session um, for each particular video that you make. So in fact, maybe I wasn't kidding about the like, share, subscribe. Although don't share it necessarily outside the team because we are working on kind of client related stuff. So these should be private videos um, where only if I share the link or you are subscribed it should appear. But all right, let's recap where we are. And again, if you are being paid to do some other work, that is your primary, and this is more a sideshow entertainment. Okay, so where we are is we've got two tables, very simple, nothing complicated. First table just stores data like this. Second table stores less information, but pretty much the same information, but the expectation is that this would be polling at a higher frequency. So the the locations are critical here. So as long as we can get one particular product, we can track the locations over time. And I'm relying on my dear colleague's Android application to do its job and keep sending those live updates. And my responsibility is to make sure that it shows up fine. If you are listening on this and you're the one who's supposed to be working on it, then you know what needs to happen. Um, Let me now just change up the background song. I'm not sure if you can hear the background music of this, but it is a bit texty. So I'm gonna just put on some piano music. Ah, Euroma. Okay. Probably need a better speaker or mic. So what I'm gonna be playing in the background is Euroma while I do this work. Okay. So now these are the tables that we've looked at, and what we are outputting this as is the outputting these in a web application interface. So we've got home set up. There's tracking here, but I don't think it does anything at the moment. So for each, for the table that we've seen over here, the face tracking. So face tracking is the main table. And when you click on, home, you can see all of your my products. Click on a particular product's history. You can see where it is. And the whole idea is that every time you use the app and you checkpoint a certain location, it should, um, send a call to the system and store that particular phase. And for a particular product, um, you can also click on the live history, and this is where we're going to add something, and this is where I think we've got uh, good potential to make this even cooler than it already is. This is again a couple of hours of work. You can check out the earlier videos, and yes, you can also subscribe to this quote unquote channel. Uh, this is, of course, developed by the professionals at Quantana. It should say at Quantana. You can see that we're still flexing that out. So by, let me see, by, oh, I'm searching in the wrong place. What system am I on this one? So that's the one. I like Sublime. I can double click and it'll take me to that spot, right? So, this is that one. Okay. So I think in the footer it was professionals at, there we go. So save it, refresh it. Now we're getting the lat long. So what I want to do is try and visually show these lat longs, right? So I want a map that can show me the different locations. And now Google has started taking exorbitant amount of money now for different transactions. So is there any free tier? Unlimited loads, price per thousand calls, embeds unlimited, embed advanced. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep reading this up, but it's pay as you go for free. Okay, no, that's consumable. Here's $49 for 100,000. Okay, there might be something there. Might be useful. Map fit. Again, it costs half, so it's cheap. Okay, this looks to be promising and free. We can start with it. And this one is something where you can pull out. And really, we're not concerned too much about locations. It's just a visual with lat longs that we want, right? So I'm literally just searching. So if you know anything anyone else has come across, then I will be happy to look at that. hmm hmm Okay, cool. Here Maps is free for 250,000 transactions per month. I'm fairly convinced already. I mean, be hard pressed to find something else that's better than this, I suppose. Okay, what I'm mentally imagining is that I would need a way of sending an array of locations with a chronology. So I need lines, markers. Ah, there you go. So this is one. Okay, now that's on that one. So I need a way to get lat long. Oh, there you go. So you got markers here. Cool, cool. This is very nice. What is this? Overview. Let's look at this. This looks nice though. Open layers. Okay, that's another one. This is Yandex. Okay, so this seems nice. Leaflet. Okay. Okay. So this seems to be fairly promising. So what I'm just going to do is just copy this. Quick start guide. Ah, okay. So you got this. Yeah, seems fairly nice. In fact, seems too nice. What am I? What am I giving up on this? No? Okay, let me do a quick trial run of this. So I've got that, and go to base. I'm gonna add that style sheet up here. Is that a style sheet? Yes, that is. Make sure you add it at where are all my plugins? So plugins here. Is set corresponding to something on WhatsApp? Um, okay, so what I'm gonna do is, now that I've added these two bits to it into my base, I'm going to go and create a new card within the card body. So all of this can come here, and I'm going to use the beauty of closures, not closures, but just sublimes. Beep, 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 save as maps.php. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna do its saving thing. So while it thinks about life, I'm going to see, okay, put a div ID, give it a height, and then you should get this, is what it says. Okay. Mapid, okay, so it's looking for Mapid with an ID? No ID, okay. I guess it's searching for an ID, you can find it out on its own. Create a tile layer. Hmm, so map box, okay. What does it take to get a map box? This was the catch I was looking for. So this feels like another, yeah, cool, cool, cool. This is nice. Okay. Well, it is just a POC, so decisions were made. Let's do that. Okay. I'm gonna sign up, so uh, is there a password there? Yes, there is, but that's okay. Okay. Mm, in fact, let me just go with the corporate. Yep, let's do that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So now that that's there, it's got X, Y, L, Z tile. Hmm. So what this is, this leaflet is sort of the JavaScript layer, and then there's the tile, which is the actual image that you see. And I guess you could grab your own tiles from somebody else. So I'm gonna grab map boxes because it looks free and it looks really pretty, to be frank. So I'm gonna go and do that. I'm do this minty. Do I need anything? Not really. I think that should be fine. hmm Okay, so that's taken that out of the way. Sublime is ready. Yes, you are ready for me now. I'm gonna do this. Put you in the card body. And I'm just gonna do an embedded style because it seems to be only one. Okay, that's taken care of there. And now over here, I'm gonna also do a script type equal to text JavaScript. I think that was correct. Close it there. And I'll do dot dollar document dot ready function. That should do it. And then this one is l.tile. Should do that. So access token. I guess. So access token is copy. I guess that's it. Access. Maybe I should keep that here. Let me just check the documentation because it feels a little bit off. Ah, okay, okay. This is the one. Access token. This is what I want. Okay. So that's that. Then I've got this going for me. Okay, now we'll come back to you. I'm not too stressed. I need something working fast, so I'm going to just focus on getting something working. And this is the map.php, so I'm gonna need another controller to do. Oh, like function map. I can probably just directly call this UI map. I don't need anything to send. And then just go to map. Save the URL just in case. Take a sip of my drink. What happened here? Nothing happened. So map is going directly there. So I did that wrong. Let me do it this way. Keen observers will observe that I did not intend to do that. So it is looking for data. So I need to send a data. So I'm going to send a data that says nothing. Yep. But the variable is there, so it's happy. Okay. Now that we have determined that nothing is working, we have made some progress. So why isn't it working? What are the issues? Anything that we know of? This variable is not there. So it tried to go to CSS Pro map but couldn't find it. So why is that a concern for us? Oh no, this is something else. This is not even related to me. Okay. Ah, I forgot there is a Google Maps script, but it seems a bit more involved than I need. Okay, okay. Let me just check that we are arriving here. Do not use alerts because alerts will inevitably poke you in the end. Okay, it's trying to do something, and it doesn't look like it did anything here, so I'm wondering if even the syntax is correct. Let me find a working place where I used a working view. Let me just text JavaScript. Yeah, type text JavaScript is correct. And yep, thanks so much. Um, dollar function window. mm, document. Dollar document ready. That looks about right. Okay, so I did that. I did that. I just paste that in. That looks identical, doesn't it? Why do you refuse to run? Okay, save that. Get rid of this. Don't think that changed anything, but okay. Saving and running again. Okay. Let me confirm. So I've got map on. Map is, let me just see that again. So map, right? So I do want maps there, so it should show me maps. Expecting a map here. Map here is another thing. So correct, I'm on the right page. It's definitely coming here, but it did not load this. So let me just see. There's another DOM loaded. Yeah. There's another way of doing document ready, but it's like the native DOM content loaded. So I'm gonna just see that, use that instead. See if that makes any difference. And close this. If it doesn't work, I might just switch to another controller, another map system. Maybe even just Google Maps because they've got their own. And the framework technically comes with Google Maps integration. You just need to put your own API. Well, what did I tell you there with simply changing the document ready to DOM format? Save the day. And that beautiful insight came from the fact that I couldn't even see this. So the only thing that was breaking it was the DOM ready status, right? So now that we've resolved that, let us now learn how to add waypoints into L, my map, add to my map. What is L? L is what? L must be another global class. I don't know what L is, but we'll learn. So that's that. Maybe we should just post this as well. If I just post this in our team chats for future reference. For future reference, sometimes $document dot ready doesn't seem to work. So I use the native JavaScript way of DOM readiness. Check. As there for reference, and we can probably close off all my 20 different stuff. I'll come back to you if I need to. Maps not required. Google Maps not required. Okay. What I need now is markers. What is this guy? Okay, so we got pop. So we got a bunch of things, but what I want is to create a specific marker. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just copy it. When in doubt, run the documentation. If the documentation doesn't work, then really, what are you doing, right? Let me just add this as well. Let me add a circle. Let's add a bunch of things. And let's see this thing as well. I'm curious to see why this is loading and why, something else isn't. So maybe there's something there that can help us. Okay. Oh, nice. So we got this because of what we created. So now I need to understand. Okay, radius is that. I want to know what is that really just lat long that I'm sending? What are my parameters? If I can just send lat longs, I can stick the output of the live history in in there, and it should just load up the maps with that. So I don't need you. So, but I'll keep you on as reference. And what I'm gonna do is these guys. So tiles, fine. Docs. Docs is still loading, so it's taking its own sweet time. I'm gonna do that. Flip it out. Actually, you take time. You go there. You come here, and what I want to do is, if this is in fact lat long, and I assume it is, looks like a lat long, smells like a lat long. Okay. Whatever other lat longs look like, let's just confirm that. They look like this. So if I Google lat long like here, Google should actually just try and push this into their maps and show me where it is. Perfect, so it did that. And if my theory is correct, cancel, cancel. Did I just close everything? I did, didn't I? Why? I don't know. Opened recent. Um, that closed everything. That was weird. Controllers, UI. Models. Track model. UI. Switch to two column layout. You will notice I need two columns for most things, even for this, just to sort of be sane. And UI, map, map, map. There you go. Okay. So what if I just replace you with this? And then where that was there, I replace you with this. Go on, upload. Take your time. Or don't take your time, hurry up. Saved. Save as, refresh. Very cool. So that worked. And CSS, I'm gonna give you a little bit more breathing room, 400. In fact, I'm also going to not forget Git, because commit and push, my friends, in case of fire. Commit, push, and exit the building safely. Okay, committing and pushing. So I guess this would just be rendered via JSON or hard code it for now. I think we'll hard code it for now. PHP ought to take care of it. Div rid class equal to row div class equal to row, just so they're on the same row, and then we'll do div class equal to column d6. So we'll have two of these bad boys. Div control D. So now we got two columns. And I'm going to stick the map into that one, the first one, and then the second one is where we want to put the table here, right? So we're going to do that and hit refresh, just make sure we get that. Go into the column layout, perfect. So we got that going for us. And then now we want the actual data. So this was rendered by this single point. And I guess, we can set the parameters based on this. So I think this is the zoom value. I'm going to try 5 and see what happens. India, right. So India is a bit big. And what about 15? So I guessed correctly that that was the zoom. Doesn't take a genius, but that's what that was there. Now, what we had done in the other view is we had this one, the timeline view? No, we didn't use timeline. We had live history. Okay. So in live history, we were actually showing pretty much this thing. So now I'm thinking, should I just peel this off or run it separately and as a redundant bit of code? So maybe I will just peel this off. Control C. Like, where did this file actually get saved as? Ugh, Christ. Sorry about that, dear audience of one. You have been patient with me so far, and you have no one to blame but yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this particular table that is there in the view live history. I'm going to stick this table. Well, you know what? I don't want these as well, so maybe I will just copy it rather than... I don't want all of that. It's a POC. I will be shot at later, but for now I don't want to invest too much time into something that's not going to go many places. So undo this history, but copy this anyway. So I want the table. Okay, so table is here, put tables here. Huh, thank you. And I'm going to get rid of the view history one. Yeah, this whole TD can go to do that there. I don't need the footers. I don't need a lot of stuff over here. Save that, just keep things simple. And while that's being rendered as well, what we're going to do is add this as well. So in another loop, PHP, I'm going to put another echo, and this time I'm going to loop through the same thing, because it's been looped through once. I'm sure it's more than willing to loop through again. And in this loop, I'm going to go through this and add this guy here. So echo here. And what it's going to do is over here, dot dollar row hyphen location. Is it lat or long first? So it's lat, I think. Yeah, lat seems to be right. Lat And then take that, take the whole string, what that was there, paste that over here, and change that to long. Okay, so that should take care of that. And then if I go to map, but map is expecting something specific. It's expecting the data, of course. So go to UI. Where's UI? UI is over here. So map is expecting this. So I'm gonna actually send this, the whole thing, because earlier it wasn't sending anything. Now I am. And I'm also need to send the product ID. So I'm gonna copy that product ID bit, place that here. Just make sure that I'm sending a product ID, and I know that HYD 1234 or 123, I forgot. Let me just check. Live tracking HYD 1234 is the one we want. So 1234. No, okay. Syntax error. Map 88. Map 88 didn't like that because that didn't end. Something so small is so annoying, isn't it? Okay, so they're all the same coordinates, so they're basically four different points of the same thing, and there is a weird ending thing here, so I'm going to change that. Okay, so now I have this in order. Now, I should probably not refresh as much because this is costing me API points, right? So, um, also, ever since Joy said this, now I can't help think that this is just really bad to look at. So I will fix that in a bit. Now, let me try another lat long. So I'm going to go and update this to, I'm just going to change like a couple of digits, because I don't know where these things are. So I'm just going to change like the third digit, and that's typically a different city, state, I don't know. In fact, there's probably a different algorithm that tells you what the zoom level needs to be so that it actually maps everything. And then I need to see how to interlink each one of these data points so that they are there's a sort of history to it, so that the most recent has something, or etc. etc. Let's see. Cool. So we got that going for us. Now, because we've got this, we can actually just introduce this to the I'm going to replace this view live history with map. So I'm going to call this something else. I'm going to call map live history because it works the same way, right? Just literally just the same thing. Of course, now that means I need to update in two other places, but that's fine. I can do that. Get, so it'll be, I'll call this map live history, map live history. There's that. And yes, I was inefficient, so I had two tables, but that's okay. I'm gonna call this map life history. And I'm gonna call this map life history. Yep, so refresh this. And while it's refreshing, save on Git. Save, Git, map live history. Without dots, so I've got maps, commit push. Pushing the code on the other window, click on map live history, product 1234. Beautiful, that seems to be doing something. I will remove that expect a map here, which was in map. So I'm gonna remove expect a map here, that's that. All right, now to read the, I'll just share this as well. Cool, so managed to get a map running in not very long, 10-15 minutes I guess. Um, and now the API is reading it. So now, anything else we need? Yes, it would be nice to get sort of lines between them so that we can see which one is first, which one is later. Uh, maybe a path. Path is what we want. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. So what I'm really looking for is a line that starts from somewhere, goes to somewhere. Just showing that it's got polyline. Let's see, polyline. Polyline seems promising. We don't need a polygon or rectangle. Yeah, polyline seems promising. hmm Okay. What I'm gonna do is two things. One, I want to know the most recent one, so probably for the last one, I need to save something like saying that this is where I'm last at. And yeah, the polyline. Polyline. So when you kind of output like this add to, it's rendering each one on its own. What we could potentially do is keep of string, so var dollar string equal to 0, equal to something. And then on each one, I could do a string concatenation so that, uh, because I see that the polyline is actually sort of multiple, it's like an array of things, so I need an array. Potentially I could use another PHP array function to quickly run through it, but I don't, yeah, because it's looking for something like this. So, I would need to output this. Okay, so, okay, mouse is slowing down, not a good sign. It is not. Ah, okay, okay. So there is a function for map fit bounds. I like this. Zoom the polyline. That's what we want. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this directly because this looks great. This looks great. And I'm going to paste that in here. Come on, browser, keep up. Could be the temperature. It's just way too hot at the moment. All right, looks like we've got full house today. I hope I'm not on speaker, but if I am, then hello. Okay, what we're gonna do is, where was that line? Polyline. Polyline. The polyline. This is the code. Create a red line. Okay, it says red. We don't necessarily need a red, but sure. Um, so this particular code, we will pull off into here. Okay, bear with me here. And then right at the end of this for loop, I'm going to dollar str, or I'm going to call it poly stir dot dollar dot equal to that. So it's going to end that way. Polyester, polyester, polyester. And this is a tricky one because I know these guys are really particular about the last one, but yeah. Oh, okay. So I'll do dollar $polyster dot equal to and open bracket dot. I think the same thing. Yep, same thing should do it. Same thing over here. Oops, oops, there, same. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Close that, close that. Okay, so we've created that, and then at the end, we just need to remove a comma. So I'm going to do a comma here, and then I'm going to find how to do this in my browser. So PHP remove last string. Now MB substring, MB string in PHP wasn't there, so this is going to be interesting that it may not work, but let's just use this rtrim. Yeah, rtrim seems to be my best friend at the moment. I'm hoping it's there. So rtrim polyster. So that's that, and then I can echo that, echo dollar $polyster. And this guy should obviously take care of that, but I'm gonna call this, is there a specific color I can choose? I'm gonna choose blue, and then I'm gonna go there, retrieve that. I see there's also a map.fitbound, so I'm gonna let that do something. Errors with numbers. We can handle errors with numbers. Bring it on. Maybe it didn't like var. Unexpected var, yeah. Sorry for telling you it's a variable. I realize you don't want to be treated like fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Did not do what I wanted it to do quite necessarily. So let me check the source code. Okay. Okay. It is definitely pumping out a lot more data than I need. Okay, so let's do that's that. Okay. Did I echo that? I did echo it. And I did save all of that. So it should just be just above marker polyster. Where is var lat longs? Echo. Okay, so let's see that. Okay. So polyline, where's lat longs? It's over here. Okay. Okay. Sorry. So slash n, I think, should do it. Slash n. Eating up my API, I swear. Blue. Yeah. Cool. So this did not work. That is why. I know that is why. I feel that is why. Our trim is not working. Let's do it this way, I guess. Let's do substring. Safe to say that substring or polyster JSONs and arrays and JavaScript objects are very finicky. I really don't like to be anything other than specification. So if they're not specification, then it will just tell you to do things to yourself. So I'm fairly sure that was the issue. I have removed it and now I expect it to work, but I don't see it doing anything because why? Because it's all in a comment? No. Somewhere the syntax looks off. Why are these quotes here? That's a bit weird, isn't it? To get these quotes. I don't think that necessarily did anything, but still looks odd. Refresh, burn my API budget. Yes, sure. Blue. Okay. Thank you for that. All right, so this looks better. Um, Still broken. Still not actually doing anything. So as per documentation, this is not what's expected. So if I do the same thing and then I create an output that looks like this one. Let's see what's the difference between lat longs 2 and lat longs here. Maybe I'll just hard code this number in and just see that it's working. Maybe I missed something else. A lot of maybes. Okay. And then I'm gonna judge whether this is actually critical enough to invest more time in or it's just a vanity thing. So if it doesn't work out, I'll move on. No, didn't work with the demo as well. So that's a bit weird. I would have expected that to work with lat longs 2, map fit bounds, polyline, polyline, add to map, add to my map. This is what happens. See, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. So now if I do this and I get rid of my perfect. See how so simple that was to fix. And that took me 15 minutes That's ridiculous. Just need to refresh. Yeah, so I just need to add refresh. Now, there's two things that need to be refreshed. One is the map itself, one is the table. So potentially, I could make a single JSON call that, let's see, remove all points, my map. Can I add these later? hmm So this tile layer can be static, right? So it's loaded kind of at the start, and it's also it's loaded it's loaded at the start, and if I want the data to dynamically flow in, I need to update. Do I need this? Yeah, this is there. Okay, this is there for India. I mean, this is there for the first location, right? So this is what is the first one. So yeah, it actually makes sense. Why don't I just load the first element here? Because I can do results, right? So I'm gonna do that actually. Okay, so I'm gonna hard code, or not really hard code, I'm softening that code to be that, but it'll be result, dollar result 0, and that's going to be dollar results of 0 without dollar, extra dollar there. So it's going to basically always zoom in on the first item, which is what you want. And there is a recenter of the polygon, and I think I just botched up that particular zoom, so that happened. I just blew. No, 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 too much, too much, too far, too far. Okay, here, map. The map's not going to load because it's broken now. Console, elements, blue. Okay. And here, because there's no freaking PHP. And close bracket. So we're doing an echo. Never forget. And that should do it. Okay, so now we refresh it. Now it's more dynamic. Okay. Just checking another SMS. Yep, perfect. Center to the final point. Nice. Perfect, perfect. So in fact, we don't need that centering map fit bounds. This is not required because we can actually see that. We might actually leave that on. That's not a bad idea. It's just that it won't be zoomed out too much. Okay, so that's that. That's taken care of with the lines. Now, what are the things that need to be changed? So, get rid of this guy. This is dynamic. This is static. This is static. This happens at the beginning. This needs to run and be dynamic as well. Hmm. How much do you want to pull? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maps. Like if I just have a JavaScript function that automatically refreshes every, let's count the refresh. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe I'll just have a button here that has like the word start refreshing and then it refreshes so then it forgets and then it'll keep refreshing, right? Alright, we'll think about it. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause from this. Okay, so I'm gonna probably wrap up. Yeah, I'm gonna probably wrap up on this particular one. I've got some other billable work to do, so I'm gonna do that. And yeah, anything else that's required? Anything else that can be done? Do I want a full tracking thing? No, I'm gonna hide this tracking thing. This might not be a bad idea to put my about page and stuff. Yeah, I'll leave that at that. So you got that. I guess that's pretty much it. There's nothing to delete. There's no archiving. There's no data tables. Why is there no data tables? Yeah, that's a bit weird. I do want data tables up and running. Hashtag data tables. Yeah, because I don't have a specific place where I am tagging the data tables, correct? So let me rectify that with going to the base and see data tables, data tables. So data tables, these are all static, so we've not used that anywhere here. I'll have to find another example where I had used it. So magically there, data tables. So data tables, not calendar, not chart, template, no. New booking, no, no, no. Class data tables, no, that's something else. Register data tables, no. So what I'm just looking for is how do I trigger that data tables, and if I don't find it here, I'm just gonna go check the original documentation. Mm, yeah, I think this is too much. So I'm just gonna go search how to do the data tables manually, tagging that. .NET. Yep, it's just a data table, so I'll do that instead. I think that's a better choice. Pretty much this guy should take care of it. So, boom, 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 boom. Let's see, that's in the base. but at the bottom, looks like they've already got a section for us. A whole bunch of plugins we will never actually use, but it's there. Okay, so I'm gonna remove that. We don't need that. Well, that's meant to run anyway, so if we do data tables, I guess. And in OpenView, data tables, yeah, that should work then. So if I uploaded the base, that should trigger the thing from starting. So refresh. I think that did something. Class data tables, ID data tables. What more do you need? What are you looking for? Dollar hash data tables. Dollar hash data tables. Dot data table. Console dot console dot log. Hi, I'm here. Maybe dollar document isn't our best friend at the moment. Hi, I'm here is there. Okay. 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 So data tables is running, but without any of the fancy stuff that I'm used to seeing, I guess. Data tables. I was expecting all of this and stuff. Not seeing stuff, therefore not exactly too pleased that it's not there. But is it something that's going to help us, or is there another thing I can do that can make our life better? It's kind of worth it. You know, kind of worth it. Kind of, kind of cool that it would work if it would work, but it's not doing this, or this wasn't running in time. Mm, I'm drinking melted ice water. Not water, not ice. Melted. Undefined is not an object. Evaluating. This is a new error. Let's see. Uh-huh. It requires a well-formed T-head and T-body. The following will throw if there is no T-head and T-body and unequal number of columns. Oh, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Clearly we're not the enemy here, but at the same time, if we're not your friend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got a mismatch off. Um, history, phase history, and map history. Disco. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And I think I can remove those right aligns because that looks a bit weird. So I'm going to remove those and make this into buttons. Class equal to btn. Why not? btn green, btn rows. We're starting to kind of hit the limits of what looks pretty. So for the same user, yes, I thought I saw some activity. Something is broken now. No, because there is no live data. Okay. Okay, so Ramesh has started to use this. So if that's that, then hide 1234 now has a couple of new data points. So let's see, hide 1234 hub 1. Okay, now if I go on this, hide 1234 is only showing me 4. Okay, so because okay, cool. I think I see that. Yep. So hub 1, now I want to see the phase history. So let me go to phase history for hide 1234. And it's going to be the same data. Yep, I see it. Yeah, so in fact this is closer to that, but with the user ID and stuff as well. So in fact, now I'm wondering how do I make this more efficient and strip away what I don't need, which is the buttons. Okay, the view phase history has looks a bit weird. Okay, looks like the app's being worked on, so I'm going to put that in and put track model. So we're gonna just update the app, insert, echo, true. I'm gonna just insert all of the get endpoints true, insert live endpoints true, true, true. Okay, that's happening. Okay, now on the particular product line to be refreshed, the product ID is the same. Um, I guess we can just have a different overview table, so phase history would be another table. We could even just map it similar to this map. This is live history. Why is live history not having any? Oh, because it's on map. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I don't want to confuse those chappies. Overview table, live history. Let's just call this phase history, just so that it's there at a separate place. Overview table. And let's call this phase history. Phase history. And in phase history, we'll just hide those buttons so that they're not taking up time, space, money. The Sublime saving files is taking up time, space, and money. Okay. TDs, remove those, and remove these two TDs as well. T hitches. And phase history, so we need to change the UI as well. Phase history, phase, oh, right over here. Get phase history is phase history. Yep, so I got home. So particular product, I can see phase history, which is basically the very basic table, which has who done what, done when. It should be sorted by last updated, so the fact that it's not is a slight concern. Oh no, because we got dummy data. It is sorted by the insert ID, right? If I'm not mistaken. So get phase history is there by the model, track model, get phase history. Yeah, ordered by ID. Yeah. If I want, I could do it ordered by timestamp, couldn't it? Yeah, ordered by timestamp now, which is great. It's ordered by timestamp. Okay, so that's the phase history, ordered by timestamp, and live history. So, I mean, potentially everything can be live history. We don't necessarily need. I mean, if you're sending that long anyway for phases, then we can actually just ignore the fact that it's in a different table. It's just the same set of data. Okay, so get phase history is sorted by, is not sorted by anything, is it? Did I just change that back? Get phase history sorted by timestamp. Get phase history, yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, because I manually then sorted this out. Hmm. Okay, so if I do last updated, yeah, cool. So this allows me to again sort it by this, so that's pretty convenient. Okay, yeah, let's leave it at that. That was the use case given to us, so we're okay with whatever they are. I do think these buttons are a bit chunky, so I'm just gonna go to my Creative Tim template and just see if I can remove something. I think my laptop's running out of RAM, potentially because of the streaming, and I've got Photoshop and Chrome with multiple tabs open, because why should Safari have all the fun? Alright, I'm gonna take a break from this now, and Ramesh is working on a few things, so that should be coming up live soon. I think we've got enough functionality. I've got other things to do as well, so we're gonna let this one go, and we're gonna wait to hear back from the other functionality here. Let's see. Mm, yeah, let me just see how the live thing will be when it's up and running. Get some feedback from them actually using it, and then we'll go from there. Cool. I'm gonna end this thing now. Thanks for watching, and whoa, the Vortex. It's a pretty cool app, but I'll end it now. All right, have a great